Chairman Durbin, Ranking Member Grassley, members of the Judiciary Committee, thank you for inviting me to testify today. And Congressman Ted Deutsch, thank you for being here as well. My name is Max Schachter. In 2008, my wife suddenly passed away in her sleep. As a newly single father of two little boys, I thought that day would be the worst day of my life. Several years later, I met a wonderful woman with two little girls who lost her husband to a heart attack. We fell in love and decided to start a new life in Parkland, Florida. It had been ranked the safest city in our state. On Valentine's Day 2018, I sent my little boy Alex to school, thinking that when I said goodbye to him, he would come home to me. Never for a moment did I think that he would be murdered in his English class. Now Alex is buried next to his mother in the cemetery. After the shooting, I was consumed with grief and anger. After 9/11, we made the airplanes safer. After the Oklahoma City bombing, we made the federal buildings safer. Yet I could not understand how more than 20 years after Columbine, children and teachers continued to be murdered in their classrooms. I was determined to do everything I could to prevent this from happening again. So my wife and I started a charity called Safe Schools for Alex, so that no other family would have to experience our pain. I traveled the country in search of solutions, and what I found was that while some school districts seemed well prepared for acts of gun violence, too many of them had the complacent attitude that Parkland had, that it won't happen here. Administrators and teachers frequently ask me, where do I find these best practices? Where do I begin? Educators are not trained to be school security experts. School officials need proper guidance on what evidence-based practices work and do not, which is why in 2018, I started advocating for the creation of a federal school safety clearinghouse, a streamlined one-stop shop for all school safety best practices, resources, and grant programs. And in 2020, I was ecstatic that this clearinghouse was launched on schoolsafety.gov. Schoolsafety.gov features materials from the Departments of Education, Justice, Homeland Security, and Health and Human Services. The Clearinghouse offers guidance on issues ranging from physical security measures to mental health counseling. It also offers a grant finder tool where school officials can search and apply from more than 40 different programs, offering nearly $2 billion in funding. And the Clearinghouse is already making schools safer. Today, I'm here to ask Congress to pass two important bills to help make schools safer. The first is the Luke and Alex School Safety Act, named in memory of my little boy, Alex, and his good friend, Luke Hoyer. The bill, known as LASA for short, would codify the federal clearinghouse I just described into law. LASA would make the clearinghouse permanent, and it would require the Secretary of Education to actively inform all school districts around the country of the important resources it provides. The second bill is the Eagles Act, named after Alex's high school mascot, the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Eagles. The U.S. Secret Service uses threat assessments to protect the president and senior government officials. Law enforcement uses threat assessments to prevent mass shootings. Our children deserve the same protection. The Eagles Act would direct the National Threat Assessment Center of the Secret Service, known as NTAC, to expand their mission to include school safety and provide them the necessary resources that they need to help schools prevent violence before it happens. Since 2000, NTAC has delivered nearly 2,400 training sessions to over 230,000 public and private sector participants on how to conduct threat assessments and prevent targeted violence. I've had the privilege to work alongside NTAC and its chief, Dr. Lena Alathari, and I can tell you that their training has been so effective that schools have almost immediately applied what they have learned to prevent attacks. Protecting our kids from gun violence requires us to do everything we can to make schools safer. I'm grateful for the bipartisan support I've received for both LASA and Eagles. And now is the time to pass into law the legislation that the Parkland families have been working on for 4 years. We cannot focus on school safety only when a tragedy happens. School safety must be a year-around priority. By passing LASA and Eagles, we can help save lives and prevent the next Uvalde and Parkland. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Schachter.